watching Live at Spectrum. Tonight, South Isle and Charlie Beats. Please welcome your host, Brett Glover.
Audience died down pretty quick there. That's unbelievable. How are you for another episode of Live at Spectrum? We're here at Spectrum Studios in Gippsland. It's a TV show made by Gippslanders supporting Gippsland musicians. Now, if you've just tuned in and you're here for the start of the program, you've actually come in at a very awkward moment, right in the middle of a heated argument with my friend on the microphone. Please welcome Miss Mel Pollard. It has been a bit heated tonight over dinner though, because it's the old. I know you're probably still having dinner at home, but we're talking about the old toilet seat argument. Now, boys, I think you'll agree. I've got no idea what girls are complaining about because we have to sit sometimes too. What's your? I know it's got nothing to do with music, but I don't know. It got quite heated over dinner. Mel, can you elaborate?
Pubes.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Straight on. What the heck just happened there?
You know.
Look, I think we'll talk about this more during the show. We might get people actually to come in with their the pros and cons of putting the toilet seat up and down. I don't know. I've got no idea how this happened tonight. Now, Mel Pollard, we've got plenty of ways of getting in contact tonight. But if you want to talk about the loo or whatnot,
I think we'll come back to that later. But you can get in contact with us tonight, either by SMS on 0411 48977. Or you can put guys in there, whatever.
Yeah.
And Facebook, Snapchat, Live at Spectrum.
Yes.
Really,
now, we have
easy.
a massive show tonight, Mel. Live in the studio tonight, we've got Charlie Beats, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Pretty good. We were privileged, very privileged during the week to catch up with Troy MacCubbin, who's a musician that hails here from Gippsland, who lives now in the States and has done amazing things over the last 10 years or so. And he was in town visiting friends, so we got to catch up with Troy and see what's been happening. And also, Adam Dunning, you might remember from episode 2 this year, was co-host of Live at Spectrum, and then he had to take off to Rio de Janeiro to record his new album. Well, we're going to be crossing live tonight to Adam, who's actually going to be watching the sun coming up on Ipanema Beach in Rio de Janeiro. We'll be live to Brazil later on. Speaking of Brazilians, that was a very inappropriate comment.
Which one?
The pubes one. Now, we'll catch up with that later on. Oh dear. Our first guests tonight are a duo hailing from the ever-expanding Gippsland city of Warragul. Their beautiful music tells wonderful stories. Please welcome to Live at Spectrum, South Isle.
She'd been told that the train never comes round here. Then she stood there waiting for over a year.
When the tide came in, it carried her away, and she stood there in a blue dress, dreaming she could stay.
Little love, you've been led away to find yourself instead. Ventured out where the night seemed cold, full of doubt, but it was made of to find yourself instead.
It's time to walk on from out of sight. So I took a bus downtown, where all the teachers meet under a willow tree. But we're still learning how to breathe. Our dreams, they walk beside us down the rickety road. And we're catching ourselves in the footholds. This time with you is never gonna come back, never gonna come back now. But we're learning to keep our hearts strong as we come undone. We come undone. Well, I've been there before, under the murky waterfall,
Do you trust me hanging onto that thing?
Roadie as well.
What are you playing there tonight? That's a Gibson, man.
Yeah, the Gibson.
Yeah, that looks so... Is that an older one, or is it
Like an early 80s, 81, I think.
So you just let me hang on to that, is it?
Oh, no, I've got to tune this one, so...
Oh, right. Oh, no problem.
I'll try and tune while we talk.
You're very busy. We're going to chat about what you guys have been doing. Now, Luke and Caroline have come from Warrigal tonight. Actually, both bands are from Warrigal tonight.
That's it. Very Warrigal.
Those audience members from Warrigal. You know, we've got lots of different tribes around Gippsland. How's the Warrigal music scene?
Oh, it's
Pretty good, actually.
there's a little bit going on, I suppose. You can't expect too much from country towns, but this is surpassing kind of what country towns do. This event, so it's cool.
Yeah, it's really
It's
cool
great.
to have you. I've seen you play over many years. I'm going to let you tune the guitar. I'm going to talk to Caroline for a minute.
No worries, bro. Cheers.
He's just busy. I'll come back to it. So, Caroline, you're writing a lot of lyrics for these songs?
Yeah, it depends on the song. They're kind of co-written, but
What's that process look like in a
Oh.
duo? As he giggles about it.
Well, the first song, that was Little Love, so Luke just started kind of playing that on the guitar, and then I was like, oh, that sounds really cool, and I just started scribbling down some ideas, and so...
Is it something you set out to do together, or was it something that you just sort of found yourself playing music together and then one idea led to the other and all of a sudden you got songs?
Question. No, we started playing music together first, and then, I don't know. I'm still like really nervous.
No, it's really great. It's good to have
Just gonna like put it out there.
It makes you feel better now, right?
Yeah, it does.
That's it.
So how long have you had this project going for now?
Oh, a couple of years. Yeah, a few years.
So it's really new.
Yeah.
And is
pretty new.
songwriting something you've done in the past, or is this...
Yeah, a fair bit. Yeah, I kind of started when I was about 22. I lived up in Broome for a year and kind of played up around there and, got into the open mic kind of scene. Yeah, and Luke's been playing for a long time as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what brought you down this way from sunny Broome?
Oh, my family are back down here.
Yeah, righto.
But, it was nice up there.
Yeah.
I would have been good to bring the weather with me back down to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way, I'm afraid. So is there a thought process, is there inspirations behind the music? Like, I don't know, I think I hear Crowded House and everything. I hear a bit of Neil Finn in there.
We love Crowded House. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
Brett Glover nailed it again. What other influences have you got with it? Sorry, I'm a bit arrogant sometimes.
Give me a bit of that arrogance. That'd be good. I need that right now.
What are some of the influences that you guys have thought about when writing these songs? Is there a sound you're aiming to achieve?
Yeah, definitely Crowded House. We love Crowded House. I don't know. What does everyone think?
Any A-level style happening, I think.
Yeah.
It just wants to be, you want it to be your own thing?
We do have lots of influences. People sometimes say Angus and Julia Stone, but I don't know if that's just the male-female thing.
Yeah.
Duo thing. Yeah.
Kind of seems a rare thing
else?
actually to have a duo with a fella and a female together. It's usually two blokes and two females.
Not very common.
Yeah, it's not very common at all. It's such a beautiful sound. Like, as soon as you started singing today, to get those two different registers harmonising together, it's a...
Working, yeah.
Yeah, it's
at
taken
different
us a while.
velocities kind of working in together, so...
Yeah.
It's taken us a while to blend because we've got really different voices as well. So
Yeah.
we have to really work on like blending.
Do you find yourself having to move the capo up and down and change keys and...
Absolutely,
Yeah, all the time. And the name South Isle, I've seen you've been doing a lot of gigs down at the Trumpet Bar. I thought maybe you'd moved down there and South Isle was all about Phillip Island.
Oh, yeah.
No, it wasn't at all.
No, I had a reoccurring dream that kind of like depicts these kind of like islands off the south of Australia. So that's my kind of vague explanation for the name. But we did come to the name and we're like, yeah, that's it. And we had reasons for it at the time, but then you kind of forget them. So, and then you're
But
like,
it kind of
yeah,
sounds
well,
cool.
And then you stuck with it.
yeah, you kind of like, I like it.
Yeah.
I like a band that's kind of in touch with the surrounding areas, and I feel like that's just, it's a pretty broad kind of name, but
Yeah.
it's cool.
Have you been out playing with this setup?
Not
a little,
much.
yeah,
Yeah, a little
just
bit.
a little bit
Yeah.
over the years, but
Yeah.
like over the last few years. But no,
Where are your opportunities? I know a lot of people have to go to Melbourne. Do you get to play locally as well, doing these songs?
not really, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have a few gigs. We've got a couple coming up. Yeah. But yeah, we haven't played a lot of originals around together.
Yeah.
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 Kind of covers and.
I'd love to see more opportunities for people who are writing
Yeah.
to play a lot more.
Yeah.
And I just love your music. I'm sure the audience agrees as well. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, Mel Pollard, you've been hearing from an old friend of ours online, I believe.
Well, yeah, we've got a couple of pictures from or photos from Troy McCubbin.
Troy McCubbin was speaking to later on.
Yeah, later on. He's back in LA now. Here we go. And he's got the Live at Spectrum cap on, and he's rocking it out in downtown LA.
Live at Spectrum, circulating around LA. How cool is that?
That's pretty darn cool.
We'll have to return the favour and advertise his online podcast as well, which is called
Guitar Wank.
I knew you'd
love
be
it.
comfortable saying that. We're going
That's
to
the
be
only way
catching up with Troy later. You haven't come across Troy McCubbin in your days
haven't.
playing around?
I don't think I have. I've certainly heard of him.
Yeah.
And I know that he's doing well over in LA.
I want to apologise to you. I've seen you play a lot, and I think several of those times I've taken the microphone off you and started singing You're the Voice or something like that. So
Yeah,
it's all right.
Yeah, I think Something So Strong once.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a crowded house. Obsessed. We're going to get you to... You've got the... Oh, gee, your guitar just morphed into a Nord keyboard. It's beautiful and random. We're going to hear that right now. Please welcome back South Isle.
This song called In the Still. Ocean never stowed away feelings that you just can't shake. Crouches like a heavy weight up and then begins to rain. Things that come around again throw me out into the day.
We held ourselves in the still, unbuilt and borrowed time. We held ourselves.
Clocks begin to fade away. Heat the sun to find a way. It's floating down, finds its way, travels out and back again. Don't hold out and turn away.
Thanks, man. Caroline. Wonderful. South Isle, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up. Oh, they're heading off. They've had enough. I'm going to help over here for a tick. That's fine. I think you'll agree that was absolutely beautiful. Beautiful music. And the sustain pedal, forget about it. That was fine. Go, look how you're going. Had enough. I tell you, if you want to see technology go wrong, this is the right segment to be tuned in, because we are about to do a live at Spectrum first. The last time we crossed live to someone, they were around about 10 metres that way in the backyard, and that all went well. So we decided to extend that to Rio de Janeiro tonight, all the way from Ipanema Beach. Please welcome Adam Dunning.
Yeah, hi Brad. How are you, man?
Mate, how are you? It is cold here. We're in the middle of winter, and well, you're in the middle of winter too, but it doesn't look so cold.
No, it's not cold, man, but it's almost the middle of the night.
It is not, isn't it? Is the sun setting?
Thanks, brother. Thanks. 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning.
I did warn you 7 hours ago that you had to go to sleep. Now, can you explain the area you're in, because it actually has a bit of significance to the type of music you love?
Mate, this is amazing. We're on Ipanema Beach right now, and this is a really significant part of Rio. This is, you might see up there, you can't actually see it. It says number 9 on that lifeguard post, and this means it's a lifeguard post of, they have them right along the beach, number of different posts along the beach. They all represent different parts of society. So there's like all these different little tribes, that you've got along the beach. You've got the wealthy kids, you've got the gym junkies, and then we're in the home of the Bohemians right here. And this is traditionally in the 60s, like this really cool area where Bossa Nova started. It started right here where we're sitting right now, or where we're standing actually. And as you can see, just after, it's coming up to 7 o'clock now in the morning, and there's this beautiful feeling across the beach that when the sun shoots over those rocks, and it's a bit cloudy today, but it's just such a great vibe around here. But listen, this is what happened is in the 1960s, a lot of these uni dropouts and stuff, they all got together here, and they decided it would be better to write music. So they all sort of decided to invent this type of music they now call Bossa Nova, which is sort of really, taking away certain parts of samba and making it very simple. And that's how we get Bossa Nova, and it's right here on Ipanema Beach. And look at that. This is amazing, man. This is Ipanema, and that is the Dois Irmãos. This means the mountain of the twin brothers. And it's incredible. You might even be able to see the favela, the slum on the side of the mountain right there.
Yeah, Adam, I can see it. Look, I'm a bit mesmerised right now. I can't believe this is working at all, but it is. So I'm going to ask you questions while you're there. Now, this isn't the first time. This isn't the first time you've been to Rio de Janeiro. How did your love affair begin with the country, and why are you there now?
Mate, I don't know. I just always loved it. I've always loved the music and the vibe, and of course Bossa Nova, which is my kind of music, and this is where it all started. But I think I'm over here at the moment because I'm doing a third album, and it's going really it's pretty interesting. I'm sort of moving away in parts from Bossa Nova, actually getting into a bit of funk stuff, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. I've just always had this affair with Rio. It's just it's just got this amazing vibe to it all the time. Like we're even just sitting here right now. It's incredible. We've just got this. If we can just, I'm going to introduce you actually right now to. This is Mateus Brevo, and he is a Brazilian, and he's a. Here we go. Can you see him? I think you can see him.
Yes. Hello.
And Mateus is, huh?
Hello. That's it. Sorry. Hello, Frank Walker.
Yeah, man, and he's a muso in Rio. And, he's going to play a bit of music for us right now, just to give you that vibe on Ipanema Beach in the morning at sunrise, when I'll never be a breakfast presenter again. I'll tell you what, it just kills you, man. It kills you. Even right now. Anyway, man, we're gonna do a little bit. Let's do Good Night to Ipanema. Yeah. Okay, we're going to sing it in Portuguese. Olha que coisa mais linda, mais cheia de graça. Ela, menina que vem, que passa, doce balanço caminha de mão.
Lá.
Bolsado todo poderado de seu eponema, eu ser balançado, que mais poema, que coisa mais linda que a já está. Oh yeah! Oh.
That's very nice. Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. How amazing is that? Not only are we live from Spectrum Studios in Traralgon, we're also live from Ipanema Beach. Adam, are you ever coming home?
Oh man, it's hard to always do it, but yeah, I'm gonna come home. How can I leave these guys, right? It's just great. You just have this amazing beach. Yeah, look, mate, it's been great to speak with you, and and yeah, I'll have a dip for you, all right?
Adam, it's been really great to see you. And as we take off into the sunset, we'd like to see you take your shirt off, get into the water and have a dip. And we can't wait to see you when you come home, mate. Give a round of applause to Adam Dunning. He's up Oh, boy. Gee. No, he didn't really do it. He may have. I'm not sure. Gee, Mel, I can't believe that actually worked tonight.
It's awesome.
We should do that every week, I think. Which just cost us someone. You should go overseas. That could be a tax write-off for you as well.
It could.
You can go anywhere you like.
Wow.
Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan. You do all the 7 stands. That'd be nice. Have you been hearing from people online tonight?
I have, actually. Yeah. Just in response to the sustain pedal, there's an offer from Kate to bring the pedal into Jack's to be fixed. So
that's great. They're in
awesome.
Warragul as well. Another Warragul connection.
How cool is that?
Jack's Music are always very supportive of musicians in their area, so I'm sure they would help out.
Yeah, and George has been quite productive, which is fantastic. Thanks, George. He's saying South Isle are playing some great music and that he also loved seeing Pete's Torn comic in the pre-show video. So thanks, George. And what else we got going on here? Rhonda says South Isle sound beautiful. I agree. They were awesome.
Wasn't it ever?
Yeah. A big hello to Campbell watching from Cranbourne and Peter from Eagle Point. And Kayla's #1 fans are watching from Paynesville, Mum and Dad. And she just wants me to say hi, Mum. So hi, Mum. And my mum's written in. So thanks for that, Mum. That's awesome. Love you. And hi from me.
All these areas sound not as exotic as they used to. We've been over to Rio, doesn't it, Mel? Thanks very much, Mel.
That's okay.
Now, during the week, we got to catch up with one of Gippsland's favourite musical sons. One of the best things about being involved with any music community is the camaraderie and support given to members and, in turn, building their confidence to branch out into the world. It was a buzz for Live at Spectrum to catch up with one of Gippsland music scene's success stories.
So I might start from the start, the mullet days. So
did I have a mullet?
We all did. Yeah, we all did.
All the girls always thought my hair was, when it was really long, it looked like I permed it. Well, Dad played in bands, so I was always around that. I think it might have been 9 or 10. But when you learn enough from your dad, you're like, yeah, I'll practice when I want, I'll do it when I want. So it wasn't until, I think I might have got up to bar chords with Dad, and then I got lessons off Les Forrest. He was a teacher in town years ago, Les. And he just scared the shit out of me. I don't know why. I was always very nervous around him. And then I think he left or something, and I went to Tony. Tony was always the guy. I tried to get in with Tony Calabro, but he was busy.
There's a big list.
He had a waiting list.
Yeah.
But I got in. I remember the phone call, talking to him, and I got off the phone. I was so excited to talk to Mum and Dad. Oh my God, Mum, Dad. And yeah, I started with Tony. It was like 8 years, I think, 8 years with Tony. And, amazing. To me, Jack Jones was my legend, my God, because he'd come from here and he'd been through Tony's program and he'd gone on to become this incredible musician. Then we got guys like the Monzers, all those guys, and they were always massive mentors and heroes to me, and still are. Those guys are so badass. I was in bands with Roger Bell, who was a drummer. I don't know if you remember Rog from Frontline, and I got to do a lot of different things. And that's, I'm being the Valley, you could play the pubs, then you're playing a wedding, and you're playing this gig, you're playing that.
And I guess you think it's like that everywhere, but that's
the talent here is, it's as good as anywhere in the world. It really is. I did grow up just idolising, Jack and Danny, and there was, Daniel Calabro and Brad, and then, you had guys like Ray Negro and Ning, and all these other cats, and everyone was so encouraging. I don't remember a lot of negativity, or it was always like, oh, you can do it, mate, come in, and the support was always there. And even with those guys, when I talked about going to America and chasing that dream, it was always, yeah, go do it. It was always so encouraging. There wasn't a lot of negativity, you know, it was always, the knockers were always outside of the music community.
Yeah, it was always a good, solid community. Like back then, we were lucky to be part of it.
It was really good.
What was the thing that made you go, all right, I'm moving, I've got to do this?
You know, I always wanted to travel. I remember being a young kid and meeting, an uncle had a friend come over from Canada, and he travelled a lot. He just had so many great stories. He'd been here and he'd done this, and it was just like, well, that just seemed really exciting to me. So I wanted to travel, and then as I got more proficient on guitar, I was like, well, I want to play guitar. So it was like travel, play guitar, and I just thought going to America would be it was either go to Melbourne, or you go to Sydney. I was like, man, I want to do something bigger. I want to get out of Australia and go for it. I think after talking to people, and then I think a Musicians Institute was advertising at the time, and I discovered that through magazines. I was like, oh, I want to go there. It was nothing like what they sold in the books. It was completely different. But it got me into America, and it got me there to do that. And then from there, I stumbled my way through the next 10, 15 years, and, you know, try to find myself and how to survive over there. One of our crew in our group of guys we hung out with, his roommate worked at Interscope Records, and they just signed these two girls from Russia, Tattoo, and they were looking for some guys to put behind these girls to rock it up, to give it more balls and make it look cooler. So she knew that we had a band and we were playing at the Viper Room, so they sent Interscope Records to come and check us out. So we played, and they chose, the keyboard player was the MD, my good friend Sven, he was the MD, and they chose me, him, and the drummer at the time. And that was it. We were in Tattoo, and they had a #1 selling hit in the world. And next minute we're at SIR Studios rehearsing, and, you know, it's all happening. It just takes off.
Which one did you play on? Which show?
We did Jay Leno.
Leno.
The Jay Leno show.
Yeah.
And that was weird for me because for 10 years I lived with two other mates in an apartment just down the road. And we would that was our nightly ritual, was sitting around TV watching Jay Leno. And then circumstances, and we get a gig and playing with Tattoo, and then we're on the Jay Leno show, and we're just like, wow, you know, we're sitting behind the desk and warm up and just like interviewing each other and being stupid. And then we did that show, and back then the girls from Tattoo, you know, the whole lesbian, it was all BS, but, you know, that was their shtick. But the producers of the show, Jay Leno, were like, don't kiss. So it's, you know, you tell the girls don't kiss, they're gonna kiss, they're gonna do the kiss. Anyway, so they do the kiss live when we're recording it. Well, who do they go to for like 30 seconds or something? The guitarist. They go to me, and they stuck on me for like, because they're kissing, and they don't want that. So they're staring at me the whole 20, I think it was like 23 seconds, which is a long time in a song, just to stare at a stupid guitarist. So we did that, and then because they didn't show the kiss, Jimmy Kimmel called us up the next day and said, we want you on the show so we can get the kiss. So he gets them on the show, but he made a mistake and got them on the couch, because the girls' English wasn't that great. You know, he made a lot of jokes that just went over their heads because they couldn't keep up. So, but they got the vibe. You know, he was taking the piss out of them. So when they got on stage to, you know, to do the show, and we were performing in front of a live audience, you know, Jimmy Kimmel like, we're gonna get the kiss, we're gonna get the kiss. And the girls leaned in, and then they pulled away, and they're like, you're not getting the kiss. So they were so mad too. So the girls were just pissing everyone off. That was the dream, to go to America and tour the world playing guitar. And that was probably an amazing outfit to do it. It was nuts and completely unorganized, and not maybe the music I'd necessarily want to play, but we went everywhere, and it was just pandemonium everywhere.
Yeah, because it was massive.
It was huge. For 2 weeks, we were #1 selling band in the world. Yeah. And I was still living in a shitty 3-bedroom apartment with 2 other smelly guys. So it was It was nuts. But I remember calling Mum and saying, Mum, I'm in the #1 selling band in the world. Can I borrow $400? You know, I was still broke. You know, it didn't change my life much at all because we were just side guys, you know. But it was a hell of a ride. I mean, we went to all over the world, all over Asia and Latin America. We went to Kazakhstan and toured there, landed on a grass field with a propeller plane and played in the middle of, it was called Jazkakano, if I think I remember, middle of nowhere. And we played to over 150,000 people. I'm on stage, I'm like, it just keeps going. And they're like, yeah, 150,000, like all the villages from everywhere, because they don't have concerts like that, just came out.
How surreal.
It was nuts.
What about the old guitar wank? You got to fill us in.
Guitar wank, that was funny. Well, having the background I did with Tony Calabro and Tony making sure you know all these great guitarists, he introduced me to Bruce Foreman many years ago, and out of all the guitarists he showed me, Herb Ellis, Joe Passanant, Bruce Foreman I gravitated towards because he was like a Charlie Parker on guitar. He just would shred and he had this energy, and it's like, man, I really like this guy's playing. Well, fast forward 20 years and through Tanya Doko out of Bachelor Girl, she's like, you got to come and see my Aussie friend Danielle DeAndrea sing. And Danielle used to be Danielle Gahar, I think, here in Australia. And she used to be a backup singer to John Farnham and have her career as well. So I went to her gig and I'm watching the band. I'm thinking, wow, the guitarist is really good. And then she introduces the band and it's Bruce Foreman. And I'm like, oh my God. You know, of course, I go up and introduce myself. And then I started following him around, went to another one of his gigs. And we just become mates. And he's kind of the last of, he feels to me like one of the last of the original jazz guys. He grew up, you know, in that world where he wasn't going to school, he was out playing gigs with these legends, you know. And became mates, and he invited me to go to breakfast one morning with one of his other mates, who was Scott Henderson, the blues fusion god. And I'd had lessons at Musicians Institute years and years ago with Scott. I'd played with him a little bit in the room and at MI, and you know, he wouldn't remember me at all, but we went to breakfast and I was laughing so hard and just that they're back and forth and jokes and these two guitar legends, you know, and I'm sitting there just listening, and I said to Bruce afterwards, man, I would love it if some of my mates could hear this. He said, oh yeah, that'd be really cool. I said, we should start a podcast. And he's like, let's do it. And that was it. And Guitar Wank was born, and he came up with the name Guitar Wank. And then we had the logo, which is, one of his mates works on The Simpsons, which I grew up with, you know, like The Simpsons. I love The Simpsons. And so he designed the logo. And if you look at the logo, you can see someone from The Simpsons designed it. So that was amazing. And next week we've got a podcast. And now we come out every Monday most of the time. And we've got, I think, like 80,000, 100,000 listeners worldwide. It's nuts.
It's been awesome, man.
Awesome, mate. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where's my beer?
Don't you say no. Hello.
Our good friends Jeff Barnes catching up with Troy MacCubbin. It really was a treat to see that interview, and it's like when someone from your family goes out and has some successes, you can't help but feel like you've had something to do with it and shared in that success. And congratulations to Jeff Barnes, who's actually officially stepped away a little bit from the show, but we're so glad that he got to catch up with his old mate Troy and deliver those wonderful stories. And if you want to listen to more of those great stories, tune into Guitar Wank. How was that, ladies and gentlemen? Pretty good. Now, Mel, there are still plenty of ways to get in contact tonight.
Yes, there are.
And join in the party.
Yeah, and we just so love to hear from everybody. So, you know, send us your messages. You can either SMS on 0411 48977 or get us on Facebook or Snapchat. Live at Spectrum. So easy. Just do it. Do it now. Do it.
Do it now. That is a promise. Our second guests are a funky, fresh, eclectic mix of Aussie hip-hop, reggae and rock, mixed in with an underlying influence of classic 90s pop. It's time to cop a piece of Charlie Beats.
Good evening, everyone. Hello. We're Charlie Beats. Thank you, Spectrum. Hope you enjoy. This one's called The Snip. Getting longer, so just pack your bags and let's go for a wander. You wanna go and what you wanna do, I don't care where we end up. All this place our way through. You got the sun on your shoulder without the fucking care, 'cause all the right chicks will take us where we wanna go, 'cause we don't know, but I'll see everyone here. So have you made up your mind where you're gonna take us to? Just close our eyes and just jump on board naked, and we're on the road that nobody knows. So we'll just call aboard and whatever goes. You got the big bomb bang, that's where it starts. So fucking cool, you're just down. Let's play from the start. So do what you do, it makes you my perfect.
Please get a bit more fallback in sax.
We're gonna take you downtown. got to pass, turn the left, 'cause on my day out. The party, pumping, you're out all night. You got the sparkle, both eyes. One thing inside you. And me downtown. And me downtown. Walk down with you. You got to get some lube. Swinging through the night. Key on down, we'll take your flight. Now there's talk all over the town. I've been a bad puppet, so come put me down. The people look one, you got the people look twice. You got the people look you up and down the left and right. Oh, and me downtown. Oh, and me downtown.
Charlie Beats, wow! I'll stop sizing you. That goes all right. Nice swap, man. I don't know about you, but I've got a funny feeling there's a bit of a story behind this band. We're about to find out. Charlie leading the band here with Charlie Beats. I might let you introduce the rest of the band.
The Aviation on the soprano. Put your hands together for him. We've got the Shark Hand drumming. We've got the Drado drumming fucking bass with Jazz.
Real quick, but I picked up on a couple of nicknames there. Couldn't help but the Aviation. Is there a story behind the Is it Aviator or Aviation?
Both, I think.
Yeah, a bit of both.
Yeah. I got the name. Just sort of appeared out of the ether, and I sort of morphed into it and turned into the Aviator.
Do you fly? Can you fly planes?
No, never.
Or you like the guy from, Flight Centre, lowest airfares, guaranteed. That guy winks at the camera. I don't reckon he can fly a plane either. Probably a better chance, I think, Aviator. He flies jets, exactly. You're much higher than that. Now, I did a bit of research on you guys and got on your Facebook page. I didn't see much music. I saw a lot of skating and snowboarding.
And I'm a part of the Charlie train.
Yeah. I noticed that a lot of that scene is sort of connected to this kind of music.
Yeah, well, you know, it's just a bit of street, I suppose. Been a little bit of a street rat skater back in the day, still am.
Yeah.
Involved with that sort of stuff, and then all of a sudden one thing leads to another. All the same meet.
Yeah.
And then here we are.
Yeah, how did you guys meet? Because you told an interesting story. It was a Wednesday night at the pub. Were you in Warragul?
Yeah, well, myself and the Aviator.
Oh,
yeah,
drinking whiskey and writing poetry, I think, wasn't it? And you walked up to me and...
Yeah, I think it was a Wednesday night or something, and it was whiskey and all that sort of jazz involved, and then 4 years later.
So you saw him writing poetry. Did you think, I'm just going to ask him if...
Well, yeah, he seemed like a very interesting dude, so I was just like... Better bloody go have a look at that.
Any stage, Aviator, did you think this guy, I don't know about this, I don't want to hang around with this guy.
Oh, no, it's pretty simple for me. You give me a time and a place to turn up for rehearsal, and he did, and I turned up. And
Now, Aviator, this is the first time we've had sax in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. This is amazing.
Dirty sax! Dirty sax!
I've heard all the jokes, don't worry. I've
Never
heard all the
had
jokes.
sax in the studio ever before. And you got a soprano sax tonight
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
a soprano.
Was that your sax of choice, or did you learn?
Oh, I bought one. This is not the one I bought, but I bought one about 4 years ago to impress a woman, and that didn't work, but I kept playing.
You had to keep it straight. Thank you very much. Thanks, Brado. What did you call Brado? Brado the...
Drado.
Drado?
Drado, drums. Works.
It does. And you mark the shark.
Yeah.
Is there any other story? It's just because it rhymes? Is there anything else?
I used to be in a band called Monkey's Pie with his older brother, actually.
Yeah.
And we all had nautical themed names, and it's stuck with me since.
I love the energy that's coming from this
We
band
like,
tonight.
and we like seating people at the beach.
Yeah, right, Now, to put a bummer on the subject, you were saying earlier that one of your guitars was actually recently stolen from one of your shows.
So if you've come across a guitar in the last couple of months, it look exactly like this. If you play like just here, it rings because the frets are broken. It's got a hole right there. Contact us on Charlie. It's got my blood in it. It's my blood. I'm blood. Yeah. At First Street, Longwarry, about 2 months ago.
What are your chances of getting it back, Huey?
Who knows? Hopefully she shuffles her way back to me.
Yeah,
I reckon she will.
I hope it works out. I hope we
Sweet,
can reach
man.
out tonight. We can find someone who's just strumming here, watching.
I'm happy to pay for
Hang
it.
on. That's the guitar he's talking about. I'm playing it right now. You've got an EP you've been working on. It's got a great title. Start off as Fat Man, the lid is off.
G'day, fat man. Shouldn't have left the lid off.
Is it a real person, is it?
Oh, it's just a little bit of a journey of what we're doing it down in Charlietown. So, yeah, it's sort of come across me as... you know,
I get what you mean. The
just
man,
cruising.
the man.
Just cruising.
Just the man.
mate, yeah.
Right, I got you now.
We're cruising.
I'm digging this.
We're cruising.
I'm down.
We're
I'm here.
cruising.
Don't let the suit fool you, yo.
No way, I never will, bro. Don't let the dreads fool you.
So this is a 4-year project so far, Charlie Beats. And
Yeah.
You started doing. You had a friend who wanted to record.
Yeah, well, we started in one of my mates' studios with pretty much all our mates, and then sort of just done it and learnt and went on and on and on, and sort of we'll take it to the next level and go in the, you know.
How far are we away from hearing some Charlie Beats?
Oh, not that far away. There's only like one more session in the studios,
Oh, cool.
so like maybe a month or two, there might be a couple of songs out. So
Yeah.
stay in tune.
And I've got the sneaky suspicion you're enjoying all this. Too.
Loving it, mate. We just cruise along one little step at a time, and I'd like to thank you to Terry Hart, our little producer. He's a beautiful man to put up with the char. Oh, and RNS Ukes and Guitars and Jack Music.
Give his Fender guitar back, for Christ's sake. How's the energy for these guys? So much positivity. I think I should just get straight out of the way and let you get back into the music. Please welcome back to Live at Spectrum, Charlie Beats.
Yeah. These guys are cranked. I need a bit more sax and fall back there. Cranked up. Thank you.
This song's called Peter.
Yes, I'm sick of these no's. Can't even build a board, I'm using Mother Nature's snow. Who gives you the right to say I can't? Who gives you the power to wreck my harmless fun? So what's the go? Who does that? Who gets up on saying no at the drop of a hat? So twisted world, what we've became. All these miserable crew, yeah, driving me insane. So now what's happened? We've gone too far. I'll probably get in trouble for strumming my own guitar. There's no one to blame. Just look in the mirror. It answers your question. Could have been and that clearer. Don't know how to fly. To be in the sky. a pilot, but now pity you become a pirate. So tell my Mr. Pan, when they grow when I become a man. We're trying to get to Neverland on artificial fairy dust and Peter. My reality is getting scary, Tom and Peter. I don't think I do believe in fairies, Tom and Peter. Didn't sleep a week last night. What happened, Peter? To fucking set me started. Still my favourite star, but it was no big deal. So we can change, no that's the plan. So turn that quarter moon around as quick as you can. A boring is that, well it's a straight line. Just give it a few twangs, you'll see everything is fine. So now there's no problem, the problem is solved. Let's keep our bodies popping till the day we get old.
It's got pretty hot here in the studio, and I know it's still winter, but it's really warmed up here. Now, before we go from the band, by the way, can we Mark the Shark's guitar? Hey, Pete, is there any chance of getting a close-up of Mark the Shark? That's really interesting. It's more like a barometer than a guitar. What's the go there, Mark? Is there a reason behind that?
I love steampunk genre.
Ah, yeah.
And I used to have a whole bunch of guitars just hanging up on my back fence as like decoration.
Yeah.
So this is actually 3 put together. It's the neck from one guitar, it's the body from another one, and it's the guts from another one. And then I'll just put all this shit on it to make it.
He does look cool, though.
Don't be afraid to touch his clock.
Oh, Moose. I don't want to touch his clock. Now, we've been getting plenty of feedback online too tonight, mate.
We have. Joe is just saying how awesome are Charlie Beats.
Yeah.
Come
so much fun.
Natasha, Charlie Beats killing it. Insane. Maria loving this funky band. Rhonda, these guys are cool.
Yeah.
Just keeps coming in.
Yeah.
And Maria also wanted to reference the interview with Troy. Just said, love your humility and loved hearing your story. What a great story following your dream.
I think that's the best part of an interview like that, when they've had so much success and they come back and they're still willing just to come and catch up with everyone, and he's still Troy from the block. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the suit fool you, like I said. I've got a few lines like that. Next time on Live at Spectrum, we're going to catch up with Matthew Bentley, who's coming into play from Paynesville, and also Borderline are coming into play on Live at Spectrum, which we can't wait. A big thank you tonight to Troy McCubbin for that great interview. To Adam Dunning, I'm not sure if he's still on the beach or maybe he's taken out in a rip or something like that. Charlie Beats have been fantastic. And to South Isle, thank you very much. Can't wait to see you next time for another instalment of
Live at Spectrum.
There you go. Good night. I'm going to try and touch that. Yeah.
Well, see, I wanted to meet a lot of ladies too. And Exhibit A wasn't doing that.
You sure?
There was a lot of men at those gigs, mate.
There was a lot of, remember the War Pigs headbangers?
I turned up and was like, I want to be a musician and meet ladies.
Yeah, playing War Pigs
Well, back
ain't gonna
then,
do it, man.
girls, but yeah.
Oh.